Three, two, one.
This is episode 35 of DJ Talks. My name is Johnny.
Hey, what's up? I'm Dan.
All right. It's Sunday morning, bright and early. It's actually not that early. It's only like 11 a.m. when we're recording this. But it's a good time to talk about random game-related shit. So, jumping right into it. Last week, we brought on Kevin, our most dedicated DJ Talks viewer. And the only thing he said is that he loves DJ Talks. I don't know if he actually watched the episode with him on it. I know he said he didn't want to. Dan, do you know?
I don't think so. I very much doubt it. Who likes watching themselves that much, right? I mean, most people, maybe they do, maybe they don't, but I would not be able to watch myself too much. I do go through our videos a lot, but not as much as I need to because I don't like to hear myself talk.
Same. Like, I review our videos a little bit, but like not as much to where like viewers will still point out like random issues with our videos that we should have caught prior. So we should probably get better at that. But thanks, Kevin. Appreciate the love. This week I also uploaded an extra video of me just opening a bunch of online Pokemon packs. And I actually got some positive feedback for that. I had a friend message me and he said, "Wow, this is strangely satisfying and nostalgic," he said. I actually had a lot of fun opening those packs. It was like literally just 4 a.m. I had like a stack of those little like code cards from like scan into the game.
And how
it was a lot of
those?
fun. So one of my really good friends, he is huge on Pokemon TCG. While he was in med school, he for some reason had a friend that just like liked buying the products but never wanted to keep them. So he and my friend, they would just open the packs in this car, but then let my friend take them all home. His name is Jimmy. So Jimmy would take all of those home. He also buys all the stuff on his own. He looks for sales and like will buy all the exclusive stuff that as it comes out. So he has like a room in his apartment dedicated to just like Pokemon cards. It's crazy, but I love it. He doesn't play online at all because he's a doctor. He doesn't have time for that. So he just gave me this like fat stack of codes. And I was just like, why not record myself like, opening these packs, man? Yeah. I actually got really good pulls from the packs. Had those cards been in real life, I would have made like $150 in card value, but it wasn't in real life, so it doesn't mean anything.
It's cool.
But yeah, so I actually have another video that I'm going to release this week of me opening some more Pokemon TCG product. So keep your eyes out for that. Yeah.
Sounds good. Awesome.
Dan, you were in San Francisco this past week.
Yes, I was.
Tell me about that, man.
All right. So I've been to San Francisco before. So this time was a couple of new things. We went to go visit a friend there.
Who's we?
So my girlfriend and another friend. So I don't know if I want to shout them out or say their names, but yeah. We went. So three of us went to visit another friend. He took us around a bunch of touristy spots that I haven't been to yet. So one place we actually went was Land's End. I know that's a store here too, but Land's End is literally it's like the edge of the San Francisco. You get to look out into the ocean. There was an actual bathhouse there.
There's a real bathhouse?
That's really old and broken down. So it no longer is, but it was like 1,000 years old. You can see the remains of it. So you can see little bits and pieces of like the shower area a little bit, and then the actual bathhouse where there was like, it almost looks like a pool, a gigantic pool, but super cool. Then you obviously got to see out into the San Francisco city, kind of the city skyline. Very nice. Beautiful, serene. If you like the views and everything and like taking pictures, that's definitely a place to go.
Yeah, that sounds really nice.
Yeah. Then we obviously went on the Golden Gate Bridge. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of two different things here. Golden Gate Bridge. Oh. I'm thinking of other things too.
Yeah.
And we got to climb this little, not even climb, but we got lucky and they had a car. So we drove up this mountain and we got to see even better view of the city and an overarching like everything around San Francisco area. So Super cool. If you do go to San Francisco and you don't like hills, I would not recommend going to San Francisco because that's all there is in San Francisco. Is a huge, massive number of hills that you have to either walk up or drive up, and it is freaky. It is scary. So these are hills that are at almost like I don't know what 45-degree angle, a straight 45-degree angle. You feel terrible walking up these hills. Just terrible. Driving, people have to actually like pull their parking brake up, and before they go, you have to actually press the accelerator before you let go of the parking brake, just because you will slide down these hills. 100%.
Oh, okay.
It is super scary.
Uh-huh.
It freaked me out, but it's still interesting. Good views from the top of the hills, obviously, because it's really high. Then you have really low grounds. Food is amazing. Everything was good there. Fun. Fisherman's Wharf. So we got to visit some friends, and then, it was a lot of fun. Lots of excitement.
Pretty good. I'm glad. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself despite all the hills. I know, like, you're not super fond of like. I mean, I know that you're not big on like walking too much, so I imagine like getting through hills is like kind of an adventure.
Yeah, for sure. Screw walking.
Is housing as expensive as they say it is there? Like, does it look like it, or is it just like average housing that's just really inflated?
Housing. It's like old style housing too, and it doesn't look super modern, super clean. And you're still paying $1,500 for the shittiest place possible. And then it ranges up to $2,500, or maybe even it ranges up higher than that probably, but affordable prices are like $2,500 per month. So
jeez, that's rough, man.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Jesus
but I hope our friend out there is doing well. So I'm sure that it's not too bad. But
it's good.
I'm really glad. I mean, like you and I have another venture coming up. And for those of you guys that don't know, Dan and I recently confirmed our tickets to PAX East. So we will be there come April 5th.
Hell yeah.
And we're going to be out in Boston together. So I'm really excited. We're going to stay at a friend's place. We're going to check out all the seafood in Boston. We're going to see the city. We're going to see like what is one of the biggest gaming festivals in the world. I'm really excited. So,
and we're doing a meetup for DJ Talks.
I mean, we could. We totally could.
Who's coming out to see DJ Talks? Nobody, man. Come on, let's be real here.
If someone actually goes out there to see us, then that'll be fun. But doubt that we're gonna have a huge line of fans.
I mean, you can't put a price on just our faces, okay?
That's true. That's true. We're gorgeous. But yeah, so we're gonna talk more about like our plans to do something like DJ Talks related out there, or like what our upload schedule will be like. I don't think it'll be affected, but it'll be fun.
There we go.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, Johnny?
Oh man, so this week I just put a shit ton of Pokemon Go, like straight up. I have like 2 really fun stories that were really interesting. So this past Thursday, I had a really long shift at work. I was expecting to get off at like 3:30, 4 o'clock, but I was really disappointed because there is a Pokemon Go Discord community in Chicago where people like get together, they go raid together, they go catch Pokemon together, and they just like go around and play together and stuff. By meeting up online and coordinating those events. So they set up what's called a raid train. And for those of you guys that don't know what raids are, they're essentially community-style battles where you go together and fight a really big, strong Pokemon that's like tens of thousands of CP. And you have the chance to like catch legendary Pokemon too, which is really cool. But anyway, so a raid train is where you go from raid to raid as they spawn or as they despawn. Just time it so you go like consecutively without stopping. And because there is a double EXP event going on, if you pop like a lucky egg, which also doubles your EXP, and you're going from legendary to legendary, you can get like a lot of EXP, you can level up really quickly. You can also like have like plenty of chances to catch legendary Pokemon. So luckily, I got off of work early. I'd never met these guys before. I'm just messaging them on Discord. I'm like, hey, I got off of work early. Can I still join you guys for this raid train? They started an hour before I got off of work. So I went to go meet up with them, and they were like super, super welcoming and super nice. It was insane. Then I came off of work. I didn't bring like a portable battery with me. My phone was already like 50%. And I like looked, kind of gross. I like, I did my hair today. I don't usually do my hair when I go to work because I'm wearing a hat. So it's like, man, I feel like such a bum, and I didn't think I was gonna be able to hang out with them for too long. But like, they found space for me in their car, so we could like go around to all these streets, and they had like 6 cars of people like going to all these different like Pokemon Go locations.
Hell yeah.
People probably think the game is dead, but that's just because they don't play. Like, there are still a ton of people that are really active and play, and they're all really nice. They gave me batteries, like they just let me use their batteries and charge me up. I was just like, what the hell? These guys don't even know me. And they're like being so nice to me, and they're letting me go around with them, and they're like trying to get to know me and stuff. It was really chill. So we ended up doing 10 Rayquaza raids, and I only caught 6 of them, but it was still pretty cool. I went home and made all my evening meetings and stuff. It was just really nice to know that like there is a community like this in Chicago that's like super welcoming to anyone that wants to play. They're also like super strict on like spoofers, so people that like fake the GPS location or like cheat in Pokemon Go. Because they really want to emphasize that community aspect. So I thought that was really cool.
Awesome, dude. That sounds amazing, man.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
That actually sounds really good. Like that's the thing about Chicago. You can literally find anything and anyone that you probably have something in common with and enjoy. So something like a community of people playing Pokemon Go, or there probably is a community of this, a community of that. And it's just all around you. So glad you could find that too.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that I get more of my friends, even if they play like super casually, to like come with.
Mm-hmm.
I know that like it's actually like really nice just going out with your friends and be like, oh, let's go raiding tonight. And all that literally means like we're gonna go like chill in the car, we're gonna like play Pokemon together, and then afterwards we're gonna get dinner. I think it was Friday night. Was it Friday? I don't remember. Oh no, it was this past Wednesday. I was telling you about my friend Jimmy who gave me all those Pokemon cards. He was bored. He hit me up. He hit up a couple of our other friends. He said, let's go raiding tonight. We went raiding.
Mm-hmm.
We caught a couple of Rayquazas. We were done. My friend caught his first one, so that was really exciting. Afterwards, we just went back to his place, ate some Chinese takeout, and that was the night. Like, it was just really nice, It was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
But I do have another story that's like a little more interesting. So, I know that there's a stereotype about like, what gamers look like, and most of them are male. I will say that like a lot of people that I went to the raid train with, or like, a lot of them were dudes, a lot of them were larger, a lot of them smoked. So like I kind of had to like cover my face when we were like playing Pokemon Go outside, because they're like just drawing on all these cigs, and I'm like, oh man, like I have asthma. I don't want none of this, man. Get it out. But they're really nice. So Friday, some of my friends want to go raiding because there's a new event cycle going out. Rayquaza got rotated out, and Lugia is back in raids. So now we're trying to get some new Lugias. And my friend was chatting with people on Discord, trying to get them to meet up with us. So I was on my way from my house to meet with them out in Lakeview, and they were already there. I was gonna go meet up with them, and they were like just finishing up some raids. So the next raid that people are trying to go to is kind of far away. Like, it's close, but it'd be like a 10-15 minute walk. But we also knew that there are people in the area with cars. Similar to like the raid train situation that I had been in, I had a feeling that if you just hit them up and asked if we could ride with them, they would probably let us do it. So I told my buddy Brian, I was like, hey, just tell whoever you're talking to, like, if they have room in their car, then we should like hop in and go if they're cool with it. I mean, obviously if they're not, then it's whatever. But my gut told me that they'd probably be okay with this. So I'm like, all right, cool. So Brian hits him up. We're walking around this train station that we're at, and then we eventually find the car of the person he was talking to. I look at the car and I'm like, what is this? Is this the right car? Because I was just really confused. I'm like, wait, she's really hot. I was like, is this like 25, 27-year-old girl is like blonde and like really pretty, and she's sitting in a car by herself? I'm like, is this a trap, or like what's going on, man? And Brian's like, yeah, that's her. So we just go in. I'm sitting in the passenger seat. I'm just sitting there like, I play Pokemon with some random hot stranger. This is cool. And my boys are in the back. This is so random. And then we're just driving over. We're gonna go to like catch a Lugia and stuff. I'm like, all right, this is cool. We just pull up. This girl's crazy, dude. She has 3 phones. 3. 2 of them had those like prepaid SIM cards with data plans on them. She's playing fucking 3 accounts at once. At first she pulls out a second phone because it's ringing. I'm like, oh, probably a work phone or something. And then she says, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. I actually have a 3rd phone. And they're not cheap phones, Dan. They're like iPhones. I'm like, what the fuck, man? This is crazy. So she hands me one because she can't be playing 3 at once. She's playing 2 at once. I'm playing on 2 of hers. My buddies are in the back there playing on their phones. So between in our car, we had 6 accounts playing. And then we had like some other people show up and we're like fighting this Lugia. It was cool. But then she has to go. We decided to go our separate ways and like go raid somewhere else. But I was just like, what the hell? What is this like? This is so interesting. That's so like really hot girl just like playing by herself. And like she's really nice and like super willing to raid and stuff. So I added her on Discord. She told me to hit her up next time I'm in Lakeview to go raiding and stuff. I'm like, you know what? I think I might. So yeah, I just thought that was like
Johnny,
crazy.
Everybody's gonna be asking right here. Did you get them digits?
Oh my god, dude! I'm not gonna ask a girl for her number when I just randomly get in her car. She doesn't even know who I am. Like, she just wants to play Pokemon, man. Like, I'm not gonna like try to hit on her when like that's. I think that's really bad. I think that's like way worse than like me asking a customer at Starbucks for their number. Like, I would rather do that than like in someone's car. It'd be like, okay, maybe the situation's different. Like maybe another person like that was different from me with a different personality would have done it. But like, if she's just trying to chill and play Pokemon, then that's cool. Maybe if like it works out next time, and like I'll get a number. Like I'll text you if I want to raid or something, and then like take it from there. Maybe
exactly. Boom. Text.
It could
pop it out. Be like, hey, yo, let's go raid together, my girl.
Jeez, but I'm like, man, it's just crazy. Like, I've been playing Pokemon Go so much lately. It's like I'm meeting a lot of really cool people. So I'm hoping that like I know I have a lot of friends that like dabble on and off. They don't feel like they're relevant anymore because I haven't played for so long. So I'm hoping that I'll like get more of them to come out. Let's explore the city together. We'll like go meet different people and stuff. It's really nice. So
hell yeah.
I know that was like a really long 2 stories, but yeah, Pokemon Go has been the highlight of my week by far.
Look. Oh, another thing. Hot girls don't get approached too much because people are afraid to approach them. That's all I got to say right there.
Yeah.
Woo! Next time, man. Hey, what's up, girl? Give me your digits.
We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see.
All right, moving on here. We're moving on to gaming / other news that we do. Things that we enjoy, things that we randomly find online that we read up on. First off, I'm going to say for you, happy birthday. Well, not for you, but you found this. Starcraft turns 20 on March 31st.
Yeah. So Starcraft is 20 years old now, which is pretty insane. Just because that game doesn't really feel that old, but it is considered like the first major esport,
right? That
was like mentioned, and like has seen long, colorful history. I know that like StarCraft Brood War was really big. That was the game where like you couldn't really see anything in a map and it was all black unless your units were running around. Like they would uncover it. Macro was a lot harder, or micro was a lot harder too. Or micro wasn't harder, but macro was and stuff in general. But yeah, I mean StarCraft is like pretty pivotal in like the development of what we see esports as today. So it's pretty cool to see that like it's like almost as old as we are, Dan. And I thought it was worth noting that we should celebrate. One of the original establishments of what we see as esports today.
Hell yeah, dude. Blizzard doing its job, popping off with good games. Great company. There you go.
Yeah,
hire me.
20. It's
Blizzard,
free.
Hire me.
So, 2 things. 1, celebrate Starcraft's birthday, and 2, hire Dan's Wing. That's
there
all
you go.
Yeah.
Second, Hearthstone.
In other Blizzard news.
Other Blizzard news, there you go. Hearthstone's new expansion is slowly rolling out. Sorry, okay, it hasn't come fully out yet. It has been announced, and cards are slowly being pushed out. So they reveal card by card by card, and they get big streamers, big players, pro players to reveal a card that they give to them. So something super cool that they've been doing for the past couple of expansions. If you haven't been following the Hearthstone scene, this new expansion is called the Witchwood. So if you do know about Warcraft, I personally don't, but if you do know about Warcraft lore, the Witchwood might be something interesting for you. But yeah, I mean, with the new Hearthstone expansion, they're putting out a lot of gimmicky stuff in the past couple of expansions. So this expansion has a couple new things. One, Rush is a new skill. It's basically charge, but only on minions. So you can only attack minions on your first charge rather than the face. So
okay.
And then the second one is Echo. Echo is if you play the card, you get like a phantom copy in your hand, so you can play that card again if you want. So you get like 3 mana.
Phantom copy?
Yeah, a phantom copy. So a card in your hand again of that same copy.
But a phantom copy means that it's not a real card. So like, does that mean that in an instance where like you shuffle it back to the deck, it wouldn't?
It disappears after this turn. So you have to play the card again.
Oh, okay.
So pretty much it's like Echo is the ability where if you play a, let's say, 3 mana 2/4 card, it pops up with another card in your hand of the same copy, and you don't have to play it, I guess, but you have a choice to play it again. Otherwise, it disappears after the turn. So something
but if you
interesting.
play it, then it sticks on a board.
Yes.
Okay. So then at that point, it's treated like a regular card then. So if I were to shuffle like your board back into your deck, both copies of that card will go back. But is the copy a clone of the original card, or is it like a modified version of it to where like it doesn't have the Echo ability?
It's the same
card.
I'm saying? It's the same card.
It's the exact same card.
Yeah.
But it won't echo when you play.
It will.
So you can just keep playing the same card over and over.
No, oh.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Shit. No.
So my gut says that you would get like a copy, quote unquote, like
copy.
Like what's it called? I guess the Pokemon equivalent would be like Manaphy. When you breed Manaphy, you don't get Manaphy, you get Fion, right? So then like in this case, like they're similar Pokemon, but like they're different. Like, this one's a little different from the other.
You can keep playing it as much as you want until you run out of mana.
That's hilarious. So you just keep echoing over and over and over.
Yep. Cards with Echo can be played again
so
and again on the same turn, as long as you have the mana to pay the price.
Oh, that's
super
hilarious.
Cool. So the card they came out with was a 3 mana 2/4 Taunt Echo. So you can play it, and play it again if you have 9 mana. So that's pretty cool.
One card can turn into like a +2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
for 9 mana. It's insane.
It's just a lot of value in one card. And then
it makes top decking crazier, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, man. Then they have this not new mechanic, but man, this is where it starts getting gimmicky, where they have odd and even number cards. So one of the cards says, if your deck has only odd cost cards, upgrade your hero card, right? And upgrade your hero power.
Holy shit.
And then there's another card that says, if you have only even cost cards, something happens as well. So there have been a lot of memes on Hearthstone Reddit with things like, in a couple of years, it's going to start popping out with, if you only have prime numbers in your deck, all of a sudden you start popping out with some random shit. There's some good memes on there. So, but overall, even though it's a little gimmicky, it's still fun to have a new expansion kind of released, and it builds up a little bit of a hype. So, Hearthstone, there you go.
There we go.
Build the excitement slowly.
I mean, that sounds pretty exciting. I think that like as they introduce new mechanics, that always keeps the game fresh. And like a really big thing about like trading card games in general, I do want to note this just because like it is kind of related. Cardfight Vanguard is a card game that Dan, you and I used to play really actively. They actually just reinvented the entire game. So for the first time in Vanguard history, they're creating two formats: standard and premium standard. Premium standard is the equivalent of legacy in Magic. So every card ever printed is legal. Then there's standard, which will start with a rotation moving forward on the newest set, and all the old stuff won't be relevant. I don't know if it's actually going to be a set rotation, but I think that what's going to happen for standard is that like every set, at least after that, is going to be legal. But the reason why they did this, Dan, is because Vanguard is coming to a point where the game really couldn't expand further than it already had. They and if you guys aren't familiar with Vanguard, I'll give you guys like a really quick rundown. The game is played with a 50-card deck and a 6-slot board. And in those 6 slots, one of them is your main unit, your Vanguard, and 5 of them are like your backup characters. The issue with the game is that you could only do so much with the way the game plays out and the mechanics that the game introduces. So like one of them, for example, is restanding. When one of the units on your board attacks, you will turn it sideways. It'll go into rest position. Be like restand units, right? I guess you could only do that with so many different clans or archetypes and so many different positions on the board before you would run out. And a really big issue that Vanguard had that Hearthstone doesn't have is that you had restrictions based on the type of deck you're playing. Obviously, you would be able to balance different heroes and types of decks in Hearthstone by releasing cards that every deck can play or were just class specific. In Vanguard, the issue is that everything was always class specific, so you had to reprint the same card for everything, or you just wouldn't print it at all. But like there are so many balance issues that like Bushiroad decided to like just change everything and create like reinvent the game. They literally reinvented the game. So for example, Dan, stand triggers are gone, and they have what's called a front trigger now, where your front row, when you trigger it, they gain 10k power.
Wait. Has this already been out?
This was just announced this past week.
Woo! All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Another thing is that like all triggers don't give units 5k power. It's now 10k power. So like just little things like that are completely changing, and they're actually like taking really really old cards, Dan, that were printed once upon a time ago, and they're reprinting them but with modified effects. But it's the same units. So the idea is that I think that they're kind of like in a position where they have to reinvent the game. And the reason why I bring that up is because like with Hearthstone expansions, as they continue to come out, you're introducing slightly new mechanics that are like altering the game and keep it exciting, but it doesn't fundamentally change the way the game is played. And I think that, for example, like there's this negative stigma of like, oh, being able to top deck an insanely game-winning card in Hearthstone that'll like change the pace of the game. Yeah, that's true. You can say that about any card game, but Hearthstone just makes it more dramatic and more exciting. And seeing a mechanic like Echo makes it so like that excitement is even more exciting. So like, you know, let's say you top deck some legendary 2-cost Echo card that like just like fucking blows up and saves the game for you, and you have 10 mana, like you play that shit 4 or 5 times in a really good place, right? I think that's really cool to watch. But like those balance changes can happen in an online platform that you won't be able to see in a real printed trading card game. And even though I'm still partial to like having those physical trading cards, like Hearthstone will never be in a position where they have to completely reinvent themselves, I think, just because of like how much flexibility the devs have, whereas Bushiroad literally had to recreate the old card game because of all the issues they had. So,
dude, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. That's awesome. That's actually exciting because, look, I think all trading card games have to go through that, where they have to do some type of rotation at a certain point when they have way too many cards to play with, because you always want cooler and cooler stuff. But then the older stuff gets shitty. So you have to re-rotate things out and re-rotate things in and keep moving forward and see what happens and build out bigger and better. You always want to get better. So that's super cool. Awesome, Johnny. Awesome. That's super exciting, actually, because Bushiroad needed to update Vanguard a little bit. Maybe get their old players back in, you know?
Exactly. But I think that this will be good for like players like you and me, to where like we can like reinvest in the game given like the balance of things, because I know that like clan balance was really big. But that's something that we could totally dedicate to another episode on its own.
Dr. Regular for life, boys. All right. Another thing that's big is TI. The location has been announced. It is going
really exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be in Canada, which is super exciting because that's right next door. You know, It was always. I mean, we had it. What was it in California last year, right? Seattle. Sorry, Seattle last year. So that's it was a little closer, but hey, it's something a little different to our friends up north. So, what have you heard about this so far?
All I know is that it's in Vancouver. There were a lot of hints that were dropped in like the production process and like planning out the event that kind of suggested that it wouldn't be in Seattle again. But a really big thing, Dan, is that last year, it was about a calendar year ago, when we began to see major changes to immigration in the United States. And Valve was keeping a really close eye on those changes because they understand that can have an effect on players coming in. I mean, the international is a long event. You know, it lasts, I think, 20 something or so days, if I'm not mistaken. But if there are issues with immigration and visas and getting players over, like, you don't just come for that event. You have to come prior to that event. You have to account for a jet lag. You have to practice a little bit, get acclimated to like a different company, or not different company, a different country's culture, and like, you know, just the vibe of what it's like to be there. That takes time. So I'd assume that the players are going to be here for as long as like a month or month and a half. And you don't really know what those immigration changes are going to be that'll affect the standings of the players. So Valve has openly stated that they do feel that the international may have to move to a different country or overseas or something if it means that that's like going to preserve the well-being of the game and the competition. And I don't know how much of that actually influenced the decision to move it to Vancouver, Dan, but I know that it's really exciting because in general, I feel that Canada gets the short end of the stick with esports, even though they have a lot of really exciting events up there.
Right.
I'm just glad that this is another example of like giving Canadians a really, really exciting opportunity to enjoy esports on a large scale. And I do think that like if we continue to see like really strict immigration laws or like constant changes that will affect like major player bases, then it is a good idea for Valve to take this overseas. You know, send it international to Canada again, or maybe send it to Korea, or maybe send it to China, where I know China has a lot of Dota players. So that's kind of like what I've gathered from my research, and like those are my thoughts. What do you think, Dan?
Just so you know, I just looked it up actually. TI is from August 20th to the 25th, so 5 days.
Oh, it's just those 5 days.
Yeah. So.
Oh, okay.
But still, I get it. Like, it's still a huge thing. You gotta be. People do come here weeks in advance. Same with League of Legends as well. Same with any other sport. If you go to a different country, they probably stay, especially for something like as big as Worlds or the World Championship kind of event. They probably stay here for scrimming or playing or doing whatever for about a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. So, yeah. I've been watching a little bit of Dota. I don't know why. I got bored one day and I just started watching up Twitch Dota streams, and it's still exciting. Like, it's still super exciting. The games are freaking long as hell, though. They are 60 minutes sometimes if it goes really well, and it's just I don't know what they do and how they do it, but 60-minute long games are insane. When you think about League of Legends being anywhere from 20 to 40 and sometimes rarely going to 60, 80, 90 minutes. But woo! it was a tense game. I should definitely go check out TI. I can't go this year, but maybe next year. TI looks super exciting, and the prize pools are huge. This year?
Is this because of work or?
Yeah, because of work. I'm taking way too many days off here or there. So I see. I'm also going to China potentially this year. So
with the family?
No, with girlfriend.
Oh, just for fun?
Visit family.
Visit her family.
And my family.
You guys gonna visit your families, but you two are going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. I mean, that sounds really cool.
So a couple too much, but yeah, super exciting. I definitely need it with as big of a prize pool as it is, and with as many people that love it, and the excitement that TI brings every single year to anyone who isn't even a Dota player. That's where it's at.
Yeah, I've always wanted to see TI myself as well, but this year TI and Evo are on the same date, I believe. which kind of sucks because I feel like I'd rather go to Evo. But we'll see what happens. I haven't completely decided yet, but I'm leaning towards Evo right now. So we'll see we'll see.
Hell yeah.
Maybe we can go to TI, not this year, but next year when you're not going to China, and after I've gone to Evo once. So that would be cool.
There you go. There you go. And one last quick topic for this. Before we move on to our featured topic, with Samsung, we've been looking for new phones, right, Johnny?
Yeah.
We've been looking for a couple new phones. The Samsung S9 just came out. A couple friends got it. What are your thoughts? Have you seen anything?
So for the S9 specifically, I actually think it's a really, really good phone.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of really cool opportunities to compare it to like older phones and only see the Samsung S9 come out on top. So the camera is really cool. They have an actual like physical adjusted aperture that makes it so. I don't exactly know what those implications are. I think it's good for different lighting in different scenarios. I'm really big on nice cameras on phones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know too much about the S9's camera other than the fact that like the photos are really fucking nice.
Oh yeah.
It might actually be the best camera in the market on its release. After it might come out on top over the Google Pixel 2
Mm-hmm.
and the iPhone 10, which are like the two best cameras respectively. I also know that the S9 has a really cool blood pressure reader. So there's an application that's specific to the S9 right now, but eventually will be rolled out to other phones later as its technology becomes more widespread. But what's really cool is that you can place your finger on a fingerprint reader and it'll read your blood pressure. It won't actually give you a reading of your blood pressure, but it'll tell you as you continue to read it if your blood pressure has gone up or gone down from when it last read it. If you actually enter in a measurement of your blood pressure, it'll give you a measurement of like what the change is based on if it's gone higher or lower. Which is really, that technology is fascinating because if you have people with really bad blood pressure and it's like life threatening, having technology on a phone like this that'll like let you know sooner than going to a fucking doctor that like you're in a bad place will let you address those issues like much more quickly, right? And the fact that we're in a point where like we have our handy technology, the devices that we spend thousands of dollars on time and time again to make sure that like we are going about our day-to-day lives well, that we're staying on top of things, we're staying in touch with people. If that technology can help us track our health in much more efficient and effective ways past like a Fitbit, I think that like it'll be really good just for us as human beings to see like the good side of adapting to more technology, right? Because I know that lately you just see a lot of people talking about how we should stay away from our phones, we should like get out more, we should talk to people more, things like that. At least that's kind of like what I've seen on social media. Maybe that's just like my feed,
right?
But while I agree that like building more human relationships and staying off of technology is good, I think that this is one of the instances where technology can be for the better. So I only know good things about the S9. I know that it's very similar in shape to the S8. The screen is gorgeous. The phone's pretty big. They finally moved their fingerprint reader to under the camera instead of right next to the camera, which on the S8 got a lot of complaints.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
smudges and everything. Yeah,
exactly. So I'm thinking that right now, given the timeline of when 5G LTE is coming out, it'll be a good idea to pick up a phone this year. And for those of you guys that don't know what I'm talking about, the average lifespan of a user's smartphone is about 2 years. Truthfully, I've had my S7 Edge for about 2 years now. And if I am going to have a phone that'll last me another 2 years, I should get a phone this year then, because 5G LTE is expected to roll out nationwide in 2020-ish. And by that point, I'm going to want to buy a new phone that is 5G LTE compatible. Because right now I don't need a phone that's 5G LTE compatible, since like there's no 5G LTE outside of like maybe a couple test cities in the West Coast. But
always
you're going to want to upgrade to a phone that'll have that compatibility when the technology is there. So I'm thinking like for people like you and me, Dan, who are looking for phones this year, we'll be in a really good place to get a new phone, come 2020, 2021.
Yeah. Samsung S9, I've definitely heard a lot of good things. It's So from what I've heard, though, it is so. If you already have an S8, it is definitely not worth upgrading to an
I've
S9
heard the same thing. Yeah.
because they made very small improvements to the S8 basically and made S9, and it wasn't significant enough to actually be warranting the cost of $800 or $740. So definitely keep your S8. Still a solid phone, still a great phone. But if you have an older generation, like I do, not of the Samsung, but just a shitty old generation, and S9 might be worth it. But there is another phone that is leaked and rumored to be coming out somewhat soon, and it's the OnePlus 6. So if you haven't heard of the OnePlus series, it is a phone made in China, and it is a very solid, up-to-date phone that is more affordable than the current market price phone. So any big name companies like Samsung or LG or iPhone or Apple, any of these normally cost around $800, right? iPhone being the exception, costing $1,000. With the OnePlus 5T, the one previous before this OnePlus 6 that is announced, OnePlus 5T was the current phone right now for the OnePlus. It is around $500. So that is
a really good price.
Hell yeah, that is a $300 difference and a $500 difference from the iPhones, and it has equally as good processor speed, equally as good cameras, equally as good, for the most part. Everything running the phone is equally as good. There may be some things missing, like the OnePlus 5T isn't waterproof, it isn't dustproof, but for the most part, generally speaking, overall, the speed, the run, the space that it provides, everything about it is still a flagship phone that you can definitely compete with. So that's where I was thinking the OnePlus 6, they're actually getting the same type of processor as the S9, I believe. So it's like the Snapdragon 845 or something is equally as good, and it's running fast. So that they said rumored. God, I wish it wasn't rumored, but it was rumored for potentially even March. But
Wow.
I definitely don't think that's going to happen because normally their OnePlus phones come out in June. So the earliest probably is around April, May-ish. But waiting a couple more months for that extra, plus the dash charging that the OnePlus... everything about the OnePlus is super cool. So definitely, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. So.
Yeah. I think that it's I bought my brother a OnePlus 5T for Christmas/graduation, and I think that it was easily the best phone of 2017, given the price, given everything it's capable of, and how it stacks up against its competitors in terms of its performance. So I am really optimistic to see what the OnePlus 6 looks like and how it'll stack up as well to like what you see in the iPhone 10 and the S9. I haven't heard much about like any other major phones coming out like along the lines of HTC or Motorola.
LG may have an LG like G7 or something, but I've had the LG G3 and G5. Do not get the LG. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. So I guess we'll keep our eyes peeled for what smartphones will come out in like in the next couple of months and see what we might want to pick up, right? Because I think that just given the price points, I'm leaning towards the OnePlus 6, but I also know the S9 is just like really good. So we'll see what happens.
If you have T-Mobile, they're doing a promotion. If you trade in your phone, you can get up to 50% off. My LG G5 is like 3 years old, and they were still going to give me $200 for it. So check it out if you want. It might be as affordable then.
I'm just worried because like the back of my S9, I don't know if or S7 Edge, I don't know if you can see it. It's like cracked up here. It's cracked down there.
They might still be able to do it. So. I don't know. You asked them.
They might, but
yeah,
I could be like that girl and play Pokemon Go on 2 phones if I kept this phone.
Oh shit!
So
there you go.
Could be super hardcore, but yeah.
All right, moving on. We're going into our featured topic as always. This week we are going through LCS playoff / predictions.
LC off.
LCS playoff / predictions. No, we always just like talking about League a little bit. This will be a shorter time, but just our thoughts on, I don't know, just overall League, how it's going, playoffs, runs, what we think of the season so far, and maybe making predictions here. So far we have Echo Fox, C9, 100 Thieves, TSM, Clutch Gaming, and Team Liquid in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
All confirmed, all set,
all locked.
All locked. Not sure, though, where they're going to be playing and what their seeding is going to be. I heard there was some random seeding this year. I'm not too familiar with it, but yeah, they still have one more game to play today. We're recording this on Sunday, so and apparently there could be a tie for second place. 5-way tie for second place is possible, from what the casters say. That's super cool. Yesterday it could actually be a 6-way tie for first yesterday, but
there was
a chance. Echo Fox had to win their freaking game, and 5 games. That's pretty cool. Everything is so close this year for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts so far of this year?
I think you're right on the money, Dan. I think it's cool that everything's really close this year and we don't have like a dominant team. I do think that it is kind of cool to see like a dominant team every now and then. Like, personally, I really enjoyed seeing the first 2 runs of Cloud9 where they were just shitting on everybody back in 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
I thought that was a lot of fun to watch. It's like, wow, wait, these guys are really fucking good. And they're like, I actually learned so much about League of Legends just watching them play. Obviously, like I'm a low elo player, but I always really admired Meteos as a jungler. He played champions that I really enjoyed playing, and he was also really fucking good at what he did. So watching them play, I also really admired High. So watching them play at like such a high level and working together so well, it just looked like they're like unstoppable. It always broke my heart that they never did like super well at Worlds. I mean, the quarters is pretty good, but they never really got past that.
Best NA team.
Actually, have they gotten to semis before?
No, I don't think so. But they're the best performing NA team. That's all you gotta say, man.
They are.
That's a title of its own.
So, like going into playoffs, right? You have 3 teams that have never actually like done well or like made it to playoffs. 2 of them are new: Clutch Gaming, 100 Thieves, and Echo Fox has always been like a shitter team. I actually don't think they've ever made playoffs before. So then that leads us to T9, TSM, and Team Liquid who have made playoffs. Yeah, I think
toxic,
dude. No, dude, it's true. Delta Fox, the team with like I'm a Cutie Pie Scara, was the highest ranking Fox team. They got 6th place out of 6 in Challenger. Echo Fox has only done as well as 7th up until this split. I'm pretty sure those stats are correct, Dan. So they are new to the playoff, like, world. But it's really nice because then like you have all these fresh teams that are like doing so well that it forces your old guard to step it up. Just because CLG has always made playoffs, it's the first time they're missing playoffs ever. It really forces them to like they're gonna have to pick their shit up. They're gonna have to make some changes. Something's gonna have to happen, right? So personally, I'm really, really glad to see a team like Clutch Gaming do really well because like everyone was shitting on them. Everyone's like, the team's gonna be garbage. I'm pretty sure you and I were shitting on them, Dan. Like when we did our prediction episode, I'm pretty sure you and I were like, this team sucks. They're gonna be like bottom half. And we were wrong.
Everybody was wrong,
I think that's really cool. Team Liquid is like, come on, man. Like you guys had like some of the best players in the world, and you guys are still like super average.
Hey, wait! Hold up on my boy, Team Liquid. Or hold up.
Man, they are not. They will say the same thing. I'm saying they're not performing anywhere near as well as they should be.
Of course.
And it's like when you see a team like Echo Fox just like shitting on everybody, I think it's really cool. I think Team Liquid actually beat Echo Fox once or twice. I don't know.
Team Liquid beat. No, they didn't. I don't think they beat Echo Fox once.
Okay.
They lost both times, but yeah, Team Liquid though, they said they've been working on it. They're gonna play bot focus now. They're gonna because I've been watching their what's it called? Squads. Yes, squads.
Yeah.
And they've been super hyping up about like best of fives. they're gonna win it because of best of fives, and they're gonna win it because of all that like series play is over single game play. What do you think of that actually? How have you actually enjoyed this year best of ones versus best of threes?
Yeah. So I think that's a really good question,
As
Dan.
a viewer.
Yeah. Previously, I didn't watch as much else. Okay, so the way I watched LCS over the years has changed. It mostly just changed based on how busy I got with school or work. This spring split, I have been spending a lot of my weekends like catching up with friends or hanging or like going out because I work so much during the week. So there were only a couple of weekends that I remember where I could like stay at home and watch LCS. And truthfully, it wasn't. I enjoyed watching LCS in college more than I do now. I think that's only because like my apartment was a little more comfortable than like this my bedroom now. So maybe it was just the fact that like I felt better about staying home. And also in college, it's really easy to go out and see your friends like any day. So when instead of dedicating my weekends to spending time with friends, I was able to like go out during the week and watch LCS in the weekend. Excuse me, but I think that the best of one did actually make it easy for me to like follow LCS, because then I could just like, if I really had time, I could sit down and watch a game that I really wanted to watch. Like I was really excited to watch like C9TL. I was really excited to watch TSM C9. Watching 100 Thieves play against Echo Fox was also a really fun match. So like random games that I could pick up and just like, all right, I watched the game and I'm done and I know like who won.
Right.
It was really fun. I think that like best of three is definitely man. I used to be so good, Dan, at predicting best of three drafts. I'm not saying I'd be a good coach, but I'm saying that like it was really easy for me to identify what the meta was and then understanding what teams would draft what. With the exception of like you wouldn't be able to predict drafts for Echo Fox because Huni can like play whatever the fuck he wants. But like for most teams that play standard, it was really easy to just like figure out like, all right, they're gonna ban that champion, they're gonna ban these champions, and they're gonna pick them. And if they pick that champion, they're gonna pick those because those are next in priority that are really good. You know, it's just really easy to figure out. You can't really do that in a best of one where like random shit happens a lot. But personally, I'm a fan of it. I'm really excited though that we're gonna have like a couple weeks of playoffs where like the teams are gonna really go at it and they're gonna play these long series. I'm really excited to watch those series because I haven't watched like a really long series of games in a while. I think that's something I will make time for. But like it was easy for me to not make time to watch LCS but still follow it, given how like easy it is to just like catch up on a bunch of best of ones.
Yeah. Definitely, best of ones made it so much easier to actually follow. Best of threes were, they were just so long. Games that you didn't really want to watch either, and once you already knew, all right, this shitter team is going to lose against this team, but we're still having to go through 2 full games. That's where it really hurt a little bit because I didn't want to watch any of the ones that. I only wanted to watch a couple of games, and this made it so much easier to watch it this year. So best of ones definitely was a good switch for a viewer perspective. So I definitely enjoyed it. But yeah, going on here, let's do some predictions.
All right.
We have no clue what the bracket is going to look like. We have no clue who is going to be winning today. That'll affect the outcome of the playoffs. But based on purely what we know and what we've seen, and let's just make a tier. Let's just make a list right now. Right here on our podcast.
All right. I think I will go as far as saying that I do not think TSM will be in the finals.
Woo! Bold statement. They've been popping off recently. They
just keep talking about how they make every final, and that's great, but like they look like shit, and I think that like realistically, we're gonna see like I would like to see 100 Thieves up there, but it's more likely Echo Fox. And like I would be surprised to see like an Echo Fox Cloud9 final. I would like to see like 100 Thieves Echo Fox or 100 Thieves Cloud9. I think that'd be really exciting. But I don't see TSM being the better team come playoffs to make it to the finals. If they do, that'll be really exciting. I'd love to be proven wrong, but I don't see it happening.
I'm pretty sure though that the last 5 games they've played, they've won. They're 5-0 right now, I believe. what is it? Golden Guardians, Cloud9, Liquid. Oh no, they lost. Never mind. They are 4-5 for the last 5 games, so they've been picking it up a little.
4-5 in the last 5 games. What do you mean? Like 4-1?
4-1. Sorry, 4-1.
Okay.
The way I said it. Sorry, the way I said it.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
4 out of 5 games they've played. The only team they lost to in the last couple weeks is 100 Thieves. So, I mean, they've been picking up a little bit. They've been showing some synergy. They've been playing it off here or there, but who knows? I still don't want them to make it either. So, I'm going to say they're going to be third. You know,
TSM?
They're going to be third, right there. Because I want to see new teams.
Yeah,
I want to see my team, Liquid, up at the top.
I don't think Team Liquid will make the finals either. But I would like to see Liquid over TSM. And for the same reason that you mentioned, Dan, I want to see new teams up there. I know I mentioned Cloud9 earlier. That's also because I'm a little partial to Cloud9, especially after like all the hype at the Boston major. But yeah, if we saw like a Liquid Echo Fox final, that'd be pretty hype as well.
Hell yeah, dude, because Liquid's never made finals.
Yeah. Actually, wait, have they? Oh, no.
No, they've never made...
TSM CLG Cloud9, yeah.
Oh, please, for the love of God. So, I want to see... I don't want to see Echo Fox, actually. You know what? I really want to see Fox, I don't want to see Echo Fox at all. I want to see 100 Thieves, 100%, and Team Liquid. Because 100 Thieves, if you haven't seen Nadeshot, and if you haven't listened to Nadeshot talk, you definitely have to go check him out. Because Nadeshot is one of the most charismatic personalities out there right now.
Is he really?
He is. People love him right now in the League of Legends scene as well because he's so articulate. He's so passionate. He loves this team. And he shows it in the way he talks, in the way he acts, in the way he presents himself as well. He's super cool. The only reason why I know that is because he was actually on Beyond the Rift.
Oh, I need to catch up on Beyond the Rift.
Holy shit, you haven't seen Beyond the Rift? All right, but he was on Beyond the Rift, and he stole my heart. There you go. 100 Thieves.
All right.
I'm liking 100 Thieves because of him, especially. And then, obviously, I want my Team Liquid, partial to that. They've been looking rough, but they said they're going to win best of 5, so they're going to win series games. So
CLG said they'll pull it together, too. You know, teams say a lot of different things.
They did pull it together, though. They just...
Too late,
exactly. So they didn't lie about what they said. They just... did it a little later than expected.
A little later. I do want to say on a note of 100 Thieves, personally, I'm super glad to see Meteos doing really well. I know a lot of people don't really like him because of his humor, because he like kind of just like dipped it in and out of LCS. I know he's like kind of stated that he deals with mental health issues along the lines of like depression as well, and that's something I really resonate with. So being the fact that like he's one of my favorite junglers, he plays a lot of my favorite champions, he deals with the same issues I do, but was still able to pick himself back up and like be such a high performing player. That makes me really, really glad to see. So I'm really happy that he's doing well on 100 Thieves. I'm really glad that like everyone on that team like looks super solid. So like I would feel good. I would be really happy if 100 Thieves like won spring. That'd be really cool.
Hell yeah. Also, Afromu. I'm glad Afromu is doing well as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because people were so sad that he left CLG. They thought it was a mistake. And he's shown that he can carry just as hard anywhere.
Yeah.
There we go. But final thing. Let's go with our final predictions.
Man,
from
I haven't even been watching LCS too much, but I'm just gonna go for it anyway.
Toss it out, throw it out, just for fun here.
All right, so I think I can see. Do I see Echo Fox or Cloud9 in the finals? Because I do want 100 Thieves to be in the finals. So if I hope and predict 100 Thieves to do well, then I will say. 100 Thieves first place.
Woo, man.
Echo Fox second.
Oh man.
Cloud9 third.
Oof.
Team Liquid fourth. TSM fifth and Clutch Gaming sixth.
Holy shit. TSM fifth, boys. You heard it here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I believe in Team Liquid. I really do. I really do. Not just because of my bias. I'm telling you.
You're a Team
I
Liquid
totally.
fan, Dad. You're a Team Liquid fan, Kate.
I'm biased. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We're all allowed to be a fan gate somewhere.
There you go. But they've been super hyping up. It's Double Lift, Pole Belter, Xmithy, back at it again. We're gonna win the championship because they got gypped. The year that everything fell apart for CLG, everyone got kicked out. They're back at it again. Them three right there. They're the only ones that mattered. Team Liquid. I'm gonna go with 100 Thieves as well because they've been playing super well recently. I'm gonna go with TSM third because I still believe TSM can still get pretty far.
They can do it, man.
They can do it. 100%.
They can make the playoff run. Yeah.
Reggie's gonna pop in here. He's gonna be like, "Let's go, dudes! Let's get it going." I'm gonna go with Cloud9 fourth, Echo Fox fifth, and Clutch Gaming sixth.
See, Dan, you and I both put Clutch Gaming sixth. This is where they're gonna prove us wrong, and they're gonna end up taking it all, and we're gonna be like, "Wow, we underestimated them again."
No way. After the performance, I watched yesterday's games. They just look like absolute shitters. So there you go. They got absolutely dumpstered. And Team Liquid dumpstered C9. So there. Leave it at that. Woo! All right.
Rip C9.
They won in 26 minutes.
That's insane.
They like popped it out left and right. So we're gonna stop it off at that. Hope you guys enjoyed that episode as well. Tell us your predictions below. Kevin, looking at you as well. I know you follow. I know you follow this. Tell me your predictions.
Just call it right out.
And we'll have a little bit of fun here. We can shit talk each other a little bit. Glad you guys could join us. Any final thoughts, Johnny?
Nah, that's it from me. Hopefully you'll have more fun stories about like my Pokemon Go adventures and maybe something new next week. I am really excited about our upcoming adventures in Boston. So we might try to do something a little different, when the time comes. But until then, we'll be here every Monday. Stay tuned, and you'll see us next week.